I'm working on this 1961 wheel horse model 401. In the last video, I finished getting it apart down to the frame. Now the next issue is this front axle. I couldn't get the bolt out. It's rusted, stuck in the axle. I already have this frame degreased so I can see what's going on. I was worried about how I was going to get this bolt out and save the threaded hole in the frame. If you break the head of the bolt off, there's no way to unthread the back part of the bolt from the frame. There's no room to get a saw blade or a cutoff wheel between the axle and the frame. I got this cleaned up and saw how wore out the hole is, and now I don't have to worry about saving the threads because they're already ruined. Now my primary mission is to not damage the axle and not enlarge the threaded hole in the frame any more than I have to. The bolt's already ruined, so it's getting sacrificed. I was thinking about heating the axle to free the bolt, but you can't get to the top of the axle where you'd want to put the heat. Since I'm not going to heat it, I expect to break the bolt head off. If it don't break far enough down in the hole, I'll have to machine part of the bolt away. I have the frame clamped to an angle plate on the milling machine, and I have the table positioned so I can clamp the axle to the machine here with an aluminum plate in between to protect my machine. Now I can put some torque on it, and we'll see if it loosens up or breaks. Alright, I did that for 10 minutes and nothing changed, so now I'm going to put some torque on it. It's moving more. Yeah, the head's moving and the other end is not. Now I need to machine part of the bolt away. So I have the axle clamped down to the mill table. That's where most of the force will be. And the frame is clamped to the mill table just so it's not hanging on the axle. Now I have a 1/2 inch end mill that's been resharpened, so it's a little bit under 1/2 inch. It'll fit in there easier and not touch the frame. So I'm just eyeballing it to the center of the hole in both directions. Some end mills are not sharpened to cut in the center when you plunge cut, so I'm going to drill a hole in the center first. The twisted off bolt's not a good flat surface, so I'm going slow so the center drill won't walk out of position. Then the drill I'm using should be the size of that hole and it won't walk out of position either. The end mill's short and won't flex much, so it don't care if that broken bolt is flat. It should stay in position as long as your machine table is locked down. On a machine like this, you can move the quill up and down with this handle like a drill press, and this lever here locks it to the automatic feed so the machine moves it up and down. This hand wheel is connected to the gear drive so it turns as the quill moves. If this speed selector stays in the neutral position, then the drive mechanism's not connected, and I can move the quill up and down by moving this hand wheel. That gives you better control of the depth, and in some cases it keeps the tool from being sucked into the workpiece. I'm going just over 1/4 inch deep, just enough to get the axle out of the frame. That worked pretty well. The hole's still round. There's some shiny spots in there, probably from the chips rubbing on it. So that side's done. Now I have the axle clamped to the top of the table. The frame just needs to stay out of the way. I have this bar clamped to the table to support the frame so it's not on a bind. I need to get rid of the bolt on this side. I'll start by milling the end off. That grease zerk looks like it might be in the way, but if I hold this clamp against the frame, the grease zerk is behind it. Okay, that was a mistake. I rotated the head of the mill to where I needed it, and then I forgot to tighten the bolts down. Now everything's tight, and I'll just plow the end of that thing right off of there. I have an angle drive drill motor. I'm going to start with a center drill and try to put a mark in the center of the bolt. The back of the drill hits the frame. I'm going to shorten the drill bit for some clearance so I can start it straight. This is a bigger drill bit. And another bigger drill bit. I had to shorten this one to get it to fit in there. Not much metal left. I'm going to move this drill bit around some and enlarge the hole a bit. The drill bit was off center, so one side's gone. Not much holding it on. I'm going to see if I can break it off of there. Got it. And now I need to clean up these parts so I can keep fixing them. I want to drill into the broken bolt on the axle. I was hoping I could clamp it down on some pins through the spindle holes like this, and maybe I could drill straight into that bolt. To test that theory, I'm using this spare axle that I had. If I use this electronic protractor, I can zero it out on the table and check this shaft I have in the center hole. On this side it shows 89.7 or 89.8. And on the other side it shows the same thing. So that hole's only 1/4 of a degree off of perpendicular, and I'm comfortable with drilling into the other axle with it mounted this way on the machine. Now this is the other axle that I need to drill out. It's mounted the same way, so I should be able to drill straight down into that bolt. This is the side that I drilled by hand, so it's a little off center. I'm going to use an end mill first to get the end of the bolt flat. I'm not trying to drill this bolt out of there. I'm just trying to weaken it. I made up this graphic to show the concept. This is a cross-section view of the axle with the bolt stuck in it. Years of rust buildup have made the bolt tighter and tighter in the hole, creating a lot of force keeping it in there. The theory is if you make the walls thin enough, it'll reduce the pressure and allow it to press out easier. I didn't drill all the way through, so I can still press on the bottom of it using a pin that fits into the center hole. Then you don't have to try to press on the lip. You want to make the wall as thin as you can, but you don't want to break out and damage the axle hole. I have the axle here at the hydraulic press. This is the pin I'm going to press it out with. It's a piece of scrap. I turned the diameter down a little bit to fit in this hole, so that'll be pressing on the bottom of what's left of the bolt. You want to let up the pressure once in a while. Make sure the pin isn't stuck in the hole. Make sure everything's still straight. I'm going to put a cardboard box under the press to catch the pin. I need to clean out this hole, so I'll do it by hand so I don't damage anything. This is a 1/2-inch drill bit, so it should fit through the original hole. The only thing I'm drilling out is the rust. I think that'll work good. I got the bolt out without damaging the part. That's as far as I'm going on this one. Next time I'll work on putting some threads back into that frame. Alright, that's it.